and always talking to you. The first time I ever talked to you, that we ever had like a long conversation, and the beauty of Maria Kanellis is that if you get her started, she will just go because she
Sorry.
has no, and it's a great thing. It's a great quality because I think Maria has such a wealth of knowledge and just you talked about just the way you can talk about how you don't have it in the ring necessarily, but you know how to see a match and you know what you want to see out of a match. And where I was going with this was that I feel like that's how people see you today. They see you as a mind for the business.
Mhm.
But that's not necessarily how everybody came to know you, right? Like it was the complete opposite, right? We've talking about the fact that you became known with the Ditz character on TV. The as you put it once, the inspired by Lucille Ball is always how you put it with the facial expressions, everything along those lines. And it's always been just a fascinating transformation for me to watch how fans have seen you one way and all of a sudden now they see you in a completely different light. I guess I wanted to talk about that character a little bit because I feel like I haven't asked you about it in a really long time. But how do you in 2022 look back at a character essentially that got started, I want to say '04, if I remember correctly. So,
Yeah.
we're coming up on 20 years since that character.
Yeah.
How do you look back on it today?
So when they when we all first started talking about doing this character, and it was Vince's idea. Paul Heyman had inspired it by stuff he was doing with me down at Ohio Valley Wrestling. It was probably my fault because my very first promo was me singing "I'm a Little Teapot." Um, a very sexual version of "I'm a Little Teapot." It might have been words like "bend me over" in it. It was amazing.
Mhm.
But I think that because, that was my first promo, and then with Paul Heyman putting his spin on it and then Vince putting his spin on it, um, my first initial thoughts were I hated it. But I don't think I really talked about hating it before because I was trying to play like the good soldier, but I hated it because my entire childhood, I was trying to get out from the opinion that women belonged in the kitchen because my dad was very old school and believed that women belonged in the kitchen and taking care of the family, and where the dad was the head of the household and blah blah blah. So I was always trying to get out from under that idea. And then the first thing I get in WWE is we're going to have you be ditzy. Now, I used to hate it. Now I love it. I got to work with everyone.
Mhm.
And people just thought of me as like not very threatening. So like I heard everything. Like I got to learn everybody's business. And like, oh, it's just a dumb girl. Like, yeah, don't worry about her. And I was still listening, learning. I'll never forget one time I was doing a promo with DX, and it was one of their long promos about like all their merchandise and like all this stuff. And for some reason, they said to me, "We know you're not really dumb," and I went, "No," and I walked off. Shit. And I think, being able to be more of a fly on the wall was really beneficial. But then, like, I got to work with everybody. Like, that was the benefit of it. Is like I worked with John, and I worked with Ric Flair, and I worked with DX, and Carlito, and everyone, Edge, and Christian, and I Prime Time, everybody. I worked with
Mhm.
everyone because of that character. I even like Lita, I interviewed Trish. So I was constantly learning from them. And like they would be going over their matches or what they had to do that night or their promos right next to me because on an interview set, you never know when you're going to be able to interview someone because crowd noise or this happening, someone coming by with catering. Like, so you would be standing there for long periods of time with another person, just so happened mostly veterans that I worked with, and you'd hear all of it. So now it was probably one of the best things that ever happened.